Hello, it's Betting Weekly Game Bet Match, the number one tennis betting podcast and YouTube channel brought to you in association with Bet Rivers, your hometown sportsbook. I am Nigel Seeley, and joining me from a rather sunny Marrakesh is our senior ATP Tour handicapper, Sean Calvert. Before we speak to Sean, if you like these videos, please hit the like, please hit the subscribe, please give us a comment and get us up to our target of 10,000 subscribers, which hopefully we can do that by Wimbledon. Okay, Sean. Safe journey? You there okay? Good flight? Nice and easy?
Yeah, no problem. It's, if anything, it's a bit too easy because I lulled myself into a false sense of security. I forgot my sunglasses. I forgot sun cream. So I had to go on the hunt for sunglasses in Marrakesh yesterday. I'm not sure I want to show you what I actually got. They were...
Go on, put them on.
Absolutely shocking. This is... I didn't want... You know what I'm like now? I didn't want to spend more than about 15 quid on sunglasses.
You're pushing the boat out. You're pushing the boat out for 15
well,
quid.
I wanted...
So what have you got for 15 quid then? Let's have a look.
At these babies.
Well, the internet's not that great here. Are they a tinge of red there? Are they like pinky red?
It's almost like a sort of brown. It's like a clay. Maybe these are the clay court ones.
The clay court glasses.
I mean, they were the best ones they had. The others were absolutely even worse than this by a long way.
If anybody has joined this podcast, no, I am not interviewing Elton John over in Marrakesh. This is Sean Calvert with those sunglasses there. And we followed. I looked at your Instagram last night there because we've been Instagram. You've seen Sean on Instagram. I mean, I've been quite critical of some of the places you stayed, and I think the last Marrakesh one we thought we were going to have to do a GoFundMe account to get you out of there alive. But where you are now looks pretty nice.
Yeah, the point bar where I went last night, I thought I'd play it safe because, I was pretty tired. It was pretty late and, I didn't really want to dive straight in for the tagine and struggle to survive the next couple of days. So I just went for the number one rated on TripAdvisor restaurant in Marrakesh, which is about a 20-minute walk from here. Where the tennis is, it's kind of at the north, sort of northwest of Morocco. It's sort of near sort of Hivenage, Guélès. And Guélès is the sort of the more modern side of Marrakesh. You'd be all right in Guélès. You wouldn't have a major problem with that. It looks like it's sort of like pretty much any sort of semi-Western city. It's the Medina down the other side is the old town. That's all the old stuff. But where I was yesterday and where I am, generally where the tennis is, it's a little bit more modern. It's just if you go the other way, it's the oldie worldy stuff with the horse and carts and all that stuff.
I just have visions of Indiana Jones or Raiders of the Lost Ark
that's the other side of Medina.
Looking for India, yeah.
You'd be all right in Guélès. You'd be fine. I think it's more modern. It's got the shops. There was a Zara and a H&M and all this sort of stuff, Starbucks, all that sort of stuff. It's got all that, so you might be all right. Yeah,
it's like the old joke. I was going to take the missus to when I took the missus to Marrakesh. They offered me 20 camels for her. I said, I don't smoke cigarettes.
You like that one, don't you?
I do like that joke. It comes out every year in Marrakesh. I think it's a great. It's right up my street. Anyway,
camels. I have seen some camels, but I'm not
cigarettes or actual camels.
Both. I could get you either. Not a problem.
Let's have a look at the tennis. The tennis today, we're going to look at tomorrow's matches on Thursday. This is the final game bet match of the week. But as I say, you can follow Sean on the Instagram account @BecauseWeWin. Before we go on, I suppose the weather in Marrakesh is glorious on the pitches. And we've got one match we're going to discuss, which is Tallon Griekspoor against Carreno Busta. But I probably, now you're there, it's probably a great time to look at the conditions. I suppose you're following the weather quite closely, seeing that it's cool. It looks glorious.
I mean, I can see it out of my window. I could throw a tennis ball onto the first court here from where I am. If I open this window now...
Well, try to do that if one of our players is losing at about 50. Try throw a few tennis balls on if you could.
I won't be able to reach the main court. The main court is the other side. But all the rest of them, I mean, I can see... If I open that window now, if it would have been doing this video 10 minutes ago and I'd have had that door open, you could have heard, I think it was Federico Coria, grunting extremely loudly on the practice court. So I thought I'd better shut the window because it's pretty loud. That's how close it is. I could lob a tennis ball onto the first of the courts from here. I could watch all the matches that are on court one. I can watch them from the balcony if I want to. As far as conditions, it's not that warm today. Tomorrow it's going to be warmer. I think 28 degrees and sunny. So it should be a little bit quicker tomorrow, I would have thought.
Again, if you just joined the podcast, Federico Courier grunting in Sean's bedroom. He's very close to the tennis courts. He's not actually physically in his bedroom. He's out the window on the tennis courts, on the practice courts. So you can see in the Instagram, you'll see the proximity between where Sean is staying and the tennis courts. There is one match tomorrow, which we are going to discuss. It's the match between Tallon Griekspoor, the number 1 seed here, up against Pablo Carreno Busta, the veteran, the former US Open semi-finalist, a player who's coming towards the end of his career, now outside the top 100 in the world, but a proven player on his day. He did beat Griekspoor in their only previous outing, which was back in 2022, in 5 sets at the Australian Open. Here's been a little bit of nibble for him in the betting this morning. Currently plus 123 for the Spaniard with Bet Rivers. Tallon Griekspoor is minus 152. Spread is 1.5. And total here is 22.5. Griekspoor had a decent run in Indian Wells, got through to the quarterfinal. Didn't play Miami. I'm not sure if that probably an injury concern why he didn't play there.
Ankle injury, I think.
So that may be a little bit of a worry if you're taking the short price for the Dutchman. Carreno Busta come through qualifying here pretty impressively. Didn't drop a set, but the level of opponent wasn't that great. And he got to the quarterfinals of the Girona Challenger last week, where he got beat by Marian Cilic in that quarterfinal. I suppose the question we've got to answer here is Griekspoor, is he over the injury? Is he a player that can produce what he's shown already at the hard courts on a clay court? And can Carreno Busta roll back the years that we know he's got capable of?
No, yes, and yes, I think, if I got that in the right order. I'm not convinced about Griekspoor this week. I said it at the start of the week. His record on clay isn't the best. He's also these days very lackluster in ATP 250s, apart from the one at home that he always goes well at on the grass in Rosmalen. If we look at what he's done on clay in ATP 250s and 500s in his career, he's got a losing record, 8 wins, 11 losses. Never gone further than the quarterfinals in any of those tournaments. And he's only made the quarterfinals in Geneva, where, as you know yourself, you've been there. It's much quicker. Quite a lot of altitude there in Geneva. Conditions are fast there. Certainly, if it's sunny, it's one of the quicker events. So a poor record at this sort of level. He tends to raise his game in the tour, like the French Open, where he should have beat Zverev last year. Again, when he plays the big players, as Zverev moaned about, when Griekspoor plays the big players, he brings his A game. The rest of the time, when it's lower ranked players in a 250, very, very questionable. I watched him here against Elias Ymer. I backed him outright here a couple of years ago when I came here. Watched him on that court, which is there, against Elias Ymer. He was absolutely shocking. Lost the first set 6-1. Just about managed to turn it around. Then lost in the next round to Caballas Baena. His clay stats aren't great. His hard court stats aren't that great, actually. He's just been winning a lot of matches by winning tie breaks. His hard court stats aren't that great, but on clay, 43% win rate at main level and a service points won and return points won total of 99. If we look at what Carreno Busta's done, again, the question is, does Carreno Busta still have that level in him that he had before that long-term injury that put him out for 18 months or so? Much, much better record. 56% win rate, service points won and return points won total of 102. So it's you're asking yourself, is Carreno Busta still motivated? Has he still got that level? We'll find out. He's still really to find his best form since that long-term injury. But he won back-to-back challenges in February, just last month, in Tenerife. He won both of those challenges there. If he's still got the hunger, and I assume that he has. I mean, he's only 33. He's not like 37. He should fancy this. He's obviously beaten Griekspoor before. This really is about Griekspoor's sort of mediocre record on clay and the fact that he tends to struggle in his opening clay match of the year. He struggles to get going on the clay. PCB's got a match under his belt already, and he's also played 4 matches prior to that on the clay, as you said, in that he's played a couple of challenges. So he's played 5 matches. I do like the idea, given how Griekspoor often shows up early in the clay season, i.e. very rusty. I like the plus money that Bet Rivers are offering us here, plus 112, that Carreno Busta wins the opening set. Knowing my luck, he'll probably lose the opening set and win the other 2. But that's the sensible play, I think, given that, I say, Griekspoor rusty. Carreno Busta certainly more than capable of winning this match, if not winning the opening set.
Yeah, plus 123 is the price with Bet Rivers. If you download the app, we'll head across to the website. Plus 123 for the Spaniards, what you're going to get there. And plus 112 for Carreno Busta to win the opening set. Remember, this is 7 o'clock start Eastern time. The match is in Marrakesh. And if you do place a bet on the Bet Rivers website or the app, you'll be able to watch the bet live as well. So you can bet live and watch live with Bet Rivers. Now, we've got 3 matches and they're all over in Bucharest. And we've spoken about the Bucharest weather a lot in the build-up to these shows in the last week or so. I mean, it's around about 16 degrees today. I'm looking at when the final is. It's going to be rain, 9 degrees, and drop down to 0 temperatures in the evening. So it's not very nice at all in Bucharest. And if you've got a rain delay, and we do go into a Monday, which, we've got rain Thursday, Saturday, it's -1. Playing clay court tennis in the evening, -1. It's going to be pretty horrid conditions, but tomorrow looks pretty fair. Looks okay with the weather concerned, and that's and the first match we're going to discuss is the match involving the veteran, and now he is a veteran, Stanislas Wawrinka, 40 years of age, rolled back the clock again with a win yesterday. I think he was the oldest player to win on a clay court. I read some statistic as one of the old, when he's up there with one of the oldest players. But he's got his work cut out a little bit against Pedro Martinez, who is right up there inside the top 50 in the world. Martinez is -130. Wawrinka is plus 106. Spread 2.5. Total is 22.5. They have met twice before. They met last year in the Challenger in Bordeaux, and Martinez won on clay 6-4, 6-4. And they played in Acapulco in 2020, where Wawrinka won 6-4, 6-4. Martinez has been in pretty awful form. He's lost his last 6 matches coming into this tournament. He got beaten the first round by Darderi in Miami, Mute in the Felix Challenger, Mariano in Indian Wells, Laszlo Jarry in Santiago, Ugo Carabella in Rio de Janeiro, and Cerundolo in Buenos Aires, where he did reach the semi-final. So that semi-final defeat against Cerundolo certainly knocked him out of any form at all. He's got a chance here. He's got a chance here indeed, Stanislas Wawrinka. But Pedro Martinez out of form. The crowd is going to be massively behind Wawrinka.
Yeah, I mean, they love to watch Wawrinka play, don't they? They know this is one of the last opportunities they're going to get. I mean, the weather was pretty much the main reason why I took a punt on Van der Zandschulp, because as I said, he's a 2-time Munich finalist in this sort of weather. And Munich generally is really cold, like very, very cold. In fact, I think it was snowing there last year. It's always freezing. That's why I took a punt on Van der Zandschulp. That didn't work. Lost from 100 to 1 on, but there you go. The weather doesn't look too bad tomorrow. 15 degrees, as you said. Yeah, cloudy, bit of a chance of rain. But certainly by the end of the week, it could be a real freezing kind of final. I just wonder if the greater power of Wawrinka here on these slow courts will prove decisive. Anyone that's watched the early rounds here in Bucharest, there's a lot of clay on the surface. It's very thick clay. They water it. It's damp. The sun's not burning it off. So it's heavy conditions. Stan just loves competing. I mean, not so much in the challenges. I think he struggles to get fired up for some of them. But at main level, he knows he's not going to get too many more chances. 40 years old, won a 3-hour, 18-minute match in round 1 here. That's the kind of commitment and the joy that he has of playing this game. I'm not sure I can see him winning another 3-hour grind against Martinez. That would be some effort. But the bets that we've had with Wawrinka lately, over the last sort of year, they've all been centred around him starting strong. He knows he's got to start fast. He probably doesn't fancy himself to drop the first set and then win it in 3, certainly against someone like Martinez on this slow clay. And this is a guy, Martinez, as you said, lacking in confidence right now, lost his last 6 matches. He only made the semi-finals in Buenos Aires because Musetti withdrew. And before that, he beat Schwartzman in Schwartzman's last ever match. And before that, he beat Damir Zuma in a match that Zuma threw away. So even those wins prior to the 6 losses are questionable at best. If we look at what he's done this year, Martinez, 36% win rate at main level. Service points won over 10 points, won total of 96. Now, if we go further back, look at the last 12 months on all surfaces at main level. It's actually Wawrinka that's got a slightly better total. Service points won over 10 points, won total of 97 for Wawrinka. Martinez, 96, which is the same as the total he's got this season. So Martinez has certainly been winning a few matches that perhaps his stats suggest that he shouldn't. I just think this is a good chance for Stan, certainly in the opening set. I'll go through the stats. It's a bet that we've had a few times. He's won set 1 in 9 of his last 14 main level matches for Wawrinka, which is 64%, which equates to odds of 1.56 minus 178. We're getting even money here with Bet Rivers that he wins this opener. He's had that one match under his belt. Martinez is in no sort of form. His opening match on the clay for a little while, for a month or whatever. So I think it's decent value about Wawrinka. Statistically, it is anyway, just based on how many opening sets he does win, and given he's playing an opponent who's lacking in confidence, then yeah, I'm happy to take even money that Wawrinka comes out firing again and wins the opening set.
Yeah, Stanislas Wawrinka, even money to win the first set. If you've got to take him to win the first set, you might want to take the price on him to win the match, which is plus 106 with Bet Rivers. Obviously, he does take the first set. You're in a great hedging position there. But we think
we'll take the 2-0.
The veteran, take the 2-0. We think the veteran here could be doing good things again against Pedro Martinez. And that match will be scheduled around about 10 o'clock tomorrow morning over in Bucharest. A match that is going to be earlier. We know the order of play. A match that's earlier tomorrow. It's a repeat of last year's final. Marton Fucsovics is up against Mariano Navone. That's 5:30 a.m. Eastern time. And Navone is minus 136 to gain revenge for his defeat last year. He lost 6-4, 7-5 in that final. And in that final, Fucsovics was the one who started the favourite. He was around about minus 150 with Bet Rivers to win that match. Here, it's different now. Navone minus 136, Fucsovics plus 110, spread 1.5, and total is 22.5. Navone come through a bit of a testing match against Laszlo Jarry. Started off on fire, and then he had a tough second set, which he lost, and then he come back bravely in set number 3. Fucsovics is the defending champion. Pressure's on him. Repeat at the final. Will it go the same way?
I watched that match, Navone against Jarry. I'd love to see some stats. It might take me an awfully long time to research it. I'd love to see some numbers on Laszlo Jarry's win ratio when he's on at 10, 11 o'clock in the morning. He wasn't up for that match at all against Navone. He was in one of his sulks, as we often get with Laszlo Jarry. He just wasn't he sort of sparked into life after he lost the first set, but the shoulders were down. It was a lot of shrugging, and I've seen this so often with Jarry in when he plays the first match, first thing in the morning. I don't know whether he's got a Bublik syndrome, but I'm not convinced about the value of that win from Navone. This just looks a bad price on Navone. I know he's been playing well, but Fucsovics, when he's fit and motivated, both of which he says he is this week, he's top quality player. If you look at the record that Fucsovics has in Bucharest, 100% win rate. I mean, it's very impressive. 100% win rate, service points won and return points won total of 112, service hold and break total of 126. Navone, obviously a very good record here as well, 83% win rate, service points won and return points won total 105, and a hold and break total of 112, which are very good numbers, but nowhere near the outstanding numbers that Fucsovics has put in. As you said, Fucsovics was priced up as a minus 156 favourite for their final last year, and he won it convincingly. In terms of the service points won and return points won total, was 109 to 91 in favour of Fucsovics. Fucsovics winning 59% of his second serve points against just 42% for Navone. I mean, with Fucsovics, it's all about, largely it's about fitness. Sometimes it's about confidence. He's not the strongest mentally, but what he said after his opening match against Nardi, he said, I've had a tough season with a couple of injuries, but now I'm 100%. I'm feeling good here. I like the conditions. The ball feels very good, and the surface is amazing. I don't think you'll get too many players saying that. He obviously loves playing here. It's adjacent to his home nation of Hungary. He obviously feels comfortable in these cooler, slower conditions. Navone might win this match, but minus 136, he's got to turn around what is a bad head-to-head. It's only one match, I know, but it was in these exact same conditions against the same player and a guy that loves playing here. I would be inclined to get involved with Fucsovics here if I was betting on this match plus money. I just think it's too short on Navone for me.
Oh, are you betting on this match, or it's just an inclination?
It's a lean for me for Fucsovics. I think if you are betting on this match, I would certainly, at the prices, I would certainly take Fucsovics.
Yeah, so repeat of the final. Early start, though, 5:30 a.m. Eastern time. Fucsovics against Navone. Navone obviously had a tough match in round 1. Fucsovics is at a place where he loves playing tennis, and he's a big underdog. He was minus 156 here last year, and he's now plus 110. Our final match is a 50-50 call with Bet Rivers. It's Christopher O'Connell against Nicolas Jarry, both minus 112. The total is 23.5, which is usually high whenever Jarry takes to the tennis court. Jarry's in a bit of a slump at the moment, not playing that great. Got beaten first round in Santiago, and he hasn't played since the end of February. He missed the 2 matches on the Sunshine Double. O'Connell's already won a match here against Lajovic in the first round. He got beaten in the first round in Miami. They come through qualifying there in 2 decent wins. Got beat by Berrettini in Indian Wells. And in the early flurries with Bet Rivers, it's all money for Christopher O'Connell. He leads the head-to-head. The only time they met was in 2024 last year at the US Open, where O'Connell won in 4 sets. Money for O'Connell here. Are you with the Aussie?
Yeah, I mean, I would have been if the price was as it was a little while ago. But yeah, I can see why the money's coming for O'Connell. I certainly wouldn't be betting Jarry at this price here. As you said, he's not played since February the 25th due to a broken toe. And he wasn't even playing well before that injury either. Lost 5 of his 6 matches prior to that injury, with the only win coming in a final set tiebreak against Juan Manuel Cerundolo, who almost had me in tears yesterday against Hugo Gaston just over there. Gaston eventually coming through that one, having lost the first set from 5-1 up anyway. So it's been a bit of a nightmare for Jarry ever since he made that Rome final last year, and he then got a vestibular issue, which affects your balance, and he's actually lost 17 of his last 23 matches since that Rome final last May. Now he's facing an opponent who beat him at the US Open last season, and who's also had 1 match here to get used to the conditions. The US Open match, it was a 4-set win for O'Connell, 102-98 in terms of service points won and return points won totals. So not an overwhelming victory, but a handy enough one. O'Connell winning 57% on second serve that day against 49% for Jarry. Obviously, that was on a hard court. This is clay. What worked really well for O'Connell that day was the low slice, which often works well against really tall players like Jarry, particularly ones that aren't the greatest movers. The low slice, I think that's mainly what won that match for O'Connell, keeping the ball out of Jarry's strike zone. I wonder if it'll work quite as well on the clay. We'll have to see. But it's certainly something that you'll expect to see O'Connell using a lot in this match, rather than the overhand single-hander that he has, the topspin backhand. I think he'll be using that too much, but we'll see. I did like O'Connell at plus money. Now it's minus 112. It's a pick-em, isn't it? A little bit less keen, but I think it's not a good price on Nicolas Jarry, bearing in mind everything that's happened to him in the last sort of 10, 11 months, and this absence as well. Now he's got to come in fresh and beat an opponent who's already beaten him pretty recently. So, again, tricky match to call, but I would certainly go on the side of O'Connell if I was betting in this one.
Yeah, certainly the money's come for O'Connell. I think the minus 112 mound would be a little bit under pressure as well. I think he's going to start more of a heavy favourite against Nicolas Jarry. We've got one more game. That's it. That's all we have. We've got the 4 matches. Is that all we have?
I did well to get 4 out of this. That
I know. I just thought, for some reason, I thought then we had another one. But I thought, no, just the 4 matches. That's it for today. 4 matches. Remember to follow all Sean's adventures over in Marrakesh on our Instagram account, as we said at the top of the show, @Because We Win. There's some great content on here now. The Premier League is in action tonight. Betting Weekly Premier League. And we've got loads of picks tonight, loads of leans. A massive 7-1 hot dog as well tonight in the Premier League. Also, we have the Betting Weekly Dojo with Neil Channing, professional gambler Neil Channing, sending some very, very funny stories about the Grand National, which is the big horse race this weekend. And there's loads more content as well on the WTA stuff, myself and Rory Girardi, where we have a 66-1 shot who won 1 match in round 1 and is now down to 7-1 to win the tournament. So all looking good on those shows we have there. Make sure you hit that subscribe button for all the content we have here. And Betting Weekly Live every day, 4 p.m. One of the handicapping team will be on to look at the action for that evening, as well as all the big moves and all the big money and the big bets from the Bet Rivers headquarters. Sean, now what you need to do, you need to give us a recap of your official plays. Is there an official play? There's
a couple of official plays, yeah. Right. I'll probably choose the wrong 2, which is kind of par for the course, but I think the strongest ones for my money are Wawrinka to win the opening set against Martinez at even money with Bet Rivers. That's in Bucharest. And the other one was Pablo Carreno Busta to win the opening set against Tallon Griekspoor here in Marrakesh. I believe that was plus 112 for Bet Rivers.
Yep, couple of bets for you there. Make sure you follow Sean, as I said, on the Instagram account. Sean, I need you to get off now, and I need you to head to one of those courts and start cheering for Tristan Boyer, because he's 3-1 down in set number 1, and I've bet him, and I've bet him with the start as well. So I need your help. So, and if it doesn't go my way, get back on that balcony and throw a load of tennis balls on that court. See what you can do. All right?
I can't reach centre court, but I can certainly. There'll be nobody there. I can certainly go and have a word with Tristan Boyer if you want.
Well, if there's no one there, just make sure he puts the effort in set number 2, because we need to cheer him home.
Okay.
That's it for the day. That's it for the week. We'll be back on Sunday, and we'll be previewing the tournament in Monte Carlo in Monaco, where for the last 2 years we've had the winner of the tournament on this show. So no pressure on you, Sean.
I don't feel pressure. Don't worry about it. I've got it.
Exactly.
I've got it covered, Monte Carlo. You'll be there anyway, won't you? So it's you. It's you bringing the good luck when you go out there.
I'll be there. I'll be there Wednesday through till Sunday. So yeah, I'll be there. When are you heading back?
Saturday morning.
Okay.
Well, get back Saturday afternoon.
Yep. So there's more content to come. We're cheering on. We've got some bets there for you today and tomorrow. And make sure you follow us and subscribe. Have a good day. Good luck for the rest of your week, Sean. Enjoy your travels out there. Follow Sean on our Instagram account @BecauseWeWin. Take care.